Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back to yet another episode of English Made Easy with Divya. Today, we are going to talk on an interesting topic: how to improve your vocabulary. So today, I am here before you to talk about different techniques to improve your vocabulary. I call this technique GRASP. GRASP here is an acronym in which each and every letter has its meaning, and it also tells you the technique to improve your vocabulary. So let's begin with the first letter of the day, that is G. G in the GRASP stands for grouping. So according to this technique, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to group the words under a common umbrella. So we take different words which mean the same or which are synonyms. For example, if I take the word praise. So when I talk about the word praise, the different meanings of the word, or let's say the words related to the word praise, like acclaim, accolade, applaud, laudatory, encomium, panegyrize, lionize, and different words start falling under this category. So these words are similar in meaning, with a little variation when it comes to intensity. If I talk about the word eulogy, which means high praise, if I talk about the word lionize, which means to give somebody more importance or to appreciate someone more, the word appreciate itself. So if we think about the different words that we use today in this particular example, so there are approximately some 8-10 words that we used. So we have grouped these words together. So as per this technique, when we talk about grouping, if you try to remember and recollect the words, then all the words will start popping up your mind the next time you come across a word. And in this way, you can definitely improve your vocabulary. Why don't you try it with some other word as well today? Let's move to the next one, which is R. Now in this case, like English does not have any formula like maths, but we definitely have something called RPS formula. There's a process of word formation called affixation. So in this, we talk about the roots, we talk about the suffix, and we also talk about the prefix. So R, P and S in case of GRASP stands for roots, prefix and suffix. So every word definitely has a root, the origin of the word. So maybe the words have originated from French or Sanskrit or any other origin. We first have to check the root of the word, like if you type on Google, the Google gives you the etymology of the word. Etymology is nothing but the study, logy is study of the origin of the word. So you come to know what the root word is. So if I take the previous example of eulogy, so eu was the root here. Or if I take the example of laudatory, so laud, L-A-U-D, was a root word here, which means praise. So every word has a meaning, it has a root, and the root has a meaning. So if you are able to identify the root of that particular word, you definitely come to know the meaning of the word. In this way, you can again improve your vocabulary. If I move ahead to S and P, that is suffix and prefix. Now suffix and prefix definitely do not help you in finding the meanings of the words, but they help you to identify, let's say, the tone of the word when we talk about the prefix. And if I talk about the suffix, which comes after the word, it helps us to understand which parts of speech does the word belong to. If I talk about the prefix, pre, which comes before the word, okay? So in that case, let's take an example. If I take the word enable, so able is a root word, and I'm using the prefix en, which is a positive prefix here. So at least I'm able to identify that the word used here is positive in tone. If I say disable, dis here is a negative prefix. So at least I'm able to identify that the tone of the word is negative. Though the prefix does not help me to understand the meaning of the word, but it definitely helps me to understand the tone of the word, which is definitely useful in solving most of the vocabulary questions. So that is the role of the prefix when we talk about the formula GRASP. If I talk about the suffix, we were talking about the parts of speech. So again, when you're using any particular word in any sentence, so it becomes very essential to understand whether we have to use the word as a noun or as an adjective or as an adverb. And in that case, the ending suffix is nothing but anything that comes after the word. So if the ending is tion or let's say ly or ity, depending. So we understand that the word is a noun or an adjective or an adverb. And accordingly, we can decide whether this word can be used with any other word or not. So that is a simple formula of R, P and S. Let's move to the next one, and which is the last one, that is A, which is association. We spoke about G, R, A, S, P, 5 words. We spoke about G, that is grouping. We spoke about R, P, S, which is root, suffix and prefix. And the last one that we're talking about is A, which is association. Now this is the most useful technique when it comes to remembering the words. So association means you are going to correlate the word with some other place, person or thing. Let's take a very simple example, but one of my favorite as well. So the word is suave, S-U-A-V-E. Now when I take the word suave, I'm sure all of you are confused as to what does it mean. Let's think of the person James Bond. I'm sure we all know James Bond. So when we talk about James Bond, what is the first thing that comes to our mind? You can type your comments in the chat section. Okay, so maybe few of you must be saying that when we talk about James Bond, he was an ace detective, he was a spy, he was very intellectual, he was very handsome. So there are different qualities or traits that we attribute with this character. So the word suave is French in origin. And whenever we talk about James Bond, there are different qualities that come to our mind. So this is a perfect combination of, in case of women we say beauty with brains, but in case of men we say suave. So suave is a word which is used only for men and it's an adjective. So there are different words. So if I talk about grouping again, so suave, which is nothing but debonair, which is nothing but charismatic, which is nothing but urbane, which is nothing but refined or cultured or civilized. So somebody who is so well-mannered, who is so decent, who is a perfect gentleman is nothing but suave. So how do we apply this in case of association? So any person whom you meet and you feel is a perfect example of a true gentleman, you can say, oh, suave Shivam. So I'm just taking a fictitious example. So Shivam, let's say, has all these qualities. Then you can associate and you will definitely be able to remember as well what is the meaning of the word, and you will be able to use it whenever you are using it in your day-to-day life as well. So try the simple technique of association. There's one more example that I really want to discuss, and again that is one of my favorites at the same time. So the word is paragon. So the moment I say paragon, what is the thing that comes to your mind? Don't miss to post your comments. So yes, I'm sure we all thought of chappals. But does paragon mean chappal? Definitely not. Look at the impact the brand has on us. So this particular brand, why do you think named the particular product as paragon? So what are the different things that we look for when you go and buy a footwear? So we talk about durability. You definitely want a footwear which is long lasting, which is durable, which is comfortable, which is pocket friendly, which is stylish, right? So there are different things that we look for. So what does this brand say? This particular chappal is a perfect example, or the footwear is a perfect example of how a footwear should be. So it has all these qualities, correct? So which means paragon is nothing but a perfect example of something. So how do I use it in my day-to-day life? So when I talk about paragon, I will say Mahatma Gandhi was a paragon of virtue. Hitler was a paragon of vice. So these are the ways in which I can use. Again, coming back to grouping, we have to use all the techniques at the same time. So if I talk about grouping this word, what are the different words that I can use for paragon? So paragon, which means epitome, right? That is the perfect example. It means an archetype. It means a quintessence. It means a role model. It means an ambassador. it means an icon. So there are different ways in which you can use this particular word. So these are the synonyms for the word and the technique of grouping. So I think friends, this video was definitely useful. If you liked my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, post your comments to tell me if you really liked it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for the upcoming videos. So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep growing and keep shining. See you and bye-bye.